Hello, this is Shadow of the Moon, and today I'm going to be doing my final farewell video of my Yu-Gi-Oh! Progression series. It's already been a year since I started doing this, over a year, and honestly, this has probably been one of my favorite projects to do. I didn't think that I was going to end up actually being able to stick with it because there was a lot of info to cover, and there was a lot of stuff that I actually had to buy specifically for this series. And I'm just really overwhelmed by the people that actually did watch the videos. I know that the videos aren't exactly popular, and there's 1,000 of them on YouTube already by a bunch of other Yu-Gi tubers, but I wanted to do kind of like my own take on it, as I've said before, and I'm just really happy to finally have done it. And with that being said, finally, we are on the final chapter, the curtain call, as you call it, of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Progression series. The last set to come out in the Duel Monsters era was The Lost Millennium, which came out in June of 2005. And it marked kind of like a farewell, a sending off, if you will, of the old format. If you had noticed in the after the Rise of Destiny and the Soul of the Duelist, the Flame Eternity and then this pack would not include Yu-Gi-Moto in there because they were gearing away more towards the GX era, which with cybernetic revolution on the horizon would cause the meta to shift tremendously. The idea of GOAT format would end up becoming something that is lost to the ages. The idea of being able to have GOAT tokens were great and all, but if you could have summon 2 to 3 monsters on the field and having cards like Cyber Dragon, which would really benefit from the new format and everything, and cards like Cyber End Dragon would actually have piercing damage, and it would combine that with Power Bond would make it 8,000. So yeah, the GOAT format unfortunately did die off after this, but it has long since lived on in everybody's hearts and has had a tremendous revival within the last decade of Yu-Gi-Oh! It started out with 2005, and just everybody, it's a format that everybody can play and that everybody enjoys, and I myself have really enjoyed being able to do the videos, and I actually love now that I can show you my actual GOAT deck. So this is going to be a Lost Millennium progression series, like part of it, the last part, but it's also going to be my GOAT deck because this is using the April 2005 ban list that had came out that is synonymous with the GOAT format. Notable cards in here, mainly, I'm just going to talk about the main important ones. The Ancient Gear Golem was very popular in the set. It was a 3,000 attack that actually had piercing damage and could not be affected by trap cards when it attacked. However, since it was a double sacrifice monster, it was a little bit harder to get off the field, but it was something that a lot of people would fear because of it having piercing damage and not being able to be activated by traps. So if you used like Mirror Force and stuff, you couldn't get it, you wouldn't be able to destroy it. Also, this set concluded the first elemental heroes. You had Sparkman, Elemental Hero Avian, Elemental Hero Burstinatrix, and Elemental Hero Clayman, as well as the first 2 fusions of the set, Flare Wingman and Thunder Giant. So those are the most notable cards in the set. Also, the Lost Millennium had like a lot of support for rock types. Mega Rock Dragon came out in the set. And also a lot of like Master Monk, which was an adorable card. It was actually like a martial arts card, and I actually had a rock deck at one point where I had him in there, and it worked really well, and it was a lot of fun. But mainly this set is synonymous with the elemental heroes. So finally, without further ado, the last final goodbye, I'm going to be showing you my Harpie Lady deck profile in its GOAT format entirety. So first, we're going to go with your Harpie Lady 1, 2, and 3. Harpie Lady 1 to increase wind. Harpie Lady 2 to destroy flip effect monsters and negate them. And Cyber Harpie for that extra buff and 1800 attack. Because you need to be able to at least know that you can go through your opponent if need be with a 2000 beater. Then you've got 2 Harpie Lady Sisters. This is easily brought out using Elegant Egotist. 2 Bird Faces. This is going to be used to search for your Harpie Lady 1, 2, and Cyber Harpie when it gets destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard. As I've explained before, 3 Sylphides, very good card. If it's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can discard a random card from your opponent's hand. So yeah, definitely worthwhile in this deck, and something they do not want to attack over. Then you've got your 3 flying Kamakiri number 1s. This is your floaters. This will help you get your Cyber Harp, or get your Harpie Lady 1 and Harpie Lady 2 special summon it to the field, which is very important in this deck. Then you've got for your tech cards, you've got your Breaker the Magical Warrior, Tribe Infecting Virus, DD Warrior Lady, Sangan, Morphine Jar, 2 Magician of Faiths to be able to bring back Elegant Egotist and any of your power spells. And then lastly, Sinister Serpent. If I haven't told you like what a lot of the tech cards do, I've been telling you basically through all the videos, so I thought it was unnecessary. So I mean, by now also, if you're a GOAT player, you should probably already know what a lot of these monsters do and everything. So let's move on to the spells. So obviously 3 copies of Elegant Egotist. This is special summoning your Harpie Lady or Harpie Lady Sisters from your hand or deck. You've got your 3 copies of Harpie's Hunting Ground. I did debate on whether or not to use an MST in this deck, but all in all, if you've got this, most of the time your opponent will not set that many back row because they know that they don't want to overcommit because they'll probably end up having Heavy Storm. So a lot of times they may set 1 or 2 at a time. Now, Harpie's Hunting Ground is great because Harpie's Hunting Ground basically, if you have a Harpie monster or Harpie Lady Sisters, you select a spell, trap card, and destroy it. Now, sadly, though, this does have a drawback because if this does not have a target, it gets destroyed itself. But since you do swarm somewhat in this deck, it's not a problem, and chances are you are going to be knocking out their spell and traps to be able to clear the field for your OTK. And then you've got your Trinity, your Graceful Charity, your Pot of Greed, and your Delinquent Duo. This is going to be helping you with your draw power. This is going to be ripping cards out of your opponent's hand. And then you have your Heavy Storm. Heavy Storm is going to destroy all spell and traps on the field. And then for the other spells, you've got 1 Nobleman or Crossout and 1 Book of Moon. Do not sleep on Book of Moon, guys. If you combine this with Nobleman or Crossout, this is very, very good. And even if you don't, this can stop a Relinquish dead in his tracks. Then you have a Swords Revealing Light, Creature Swap, as you guys know about the Flying Kamakiri combo, Premature Burial, and then for the traps, you've got Call of the Haunted, you've got Torrential Tribute, you've got Mirror Force, and you've got Ring of Destruction. These are the power traps that I have in this deck, and they work really, really well. Since I do run a lot of spells, and I do run Harpie's Hunting Ground, the idea is not for you to overcommit too many cards on the board. You don't want to set your whole hand or overextend it. So I only run 4 because you only need to run 4 in this deck, honestly. Alright, so finally that is going to be the end of the deck profile through the year. I covered everything from Pharaoh's Servant all the way up into the Lost Millennium, and I'm really going to miss doing this. This was such a pleasure and just really, really fun to be able to do and to show you, the deck profile and being able to do my own take on it. I actually do have some really cool stuff planned. I have a Critter format that I'm going to be doing, an introduction to Critter format, as well as a deck profile for a Harpie deck with that, because if you don't know, Harpie Ladies came out in Metal Raiders, and Critter format is essentially, that's what that is. That is the Metal Raiders format from LOB, Metal Raiders, and the 2 starter decks, Yugi and Kaiba. So I have a deck profile of that, which is you're going to really enjoy, and also I have that I'm working on, and it's going to be coming shortly after that, will be a Blackwing deck profile for the Edison format, because, come on, you guys know I was going to go with the Blackwings, obviously, and it's really fun. I started looking up the research, doing the research for it and everything, and it's a lot of fun to actually to play, because there's a lot of decks and a lot of different strategies that you can go with Edison format and everything. And Edison basically it had the March 2010 ban list, and essentially it was a format that was created by a Shonen Jump series winner in New Jersey, who his last name was Edison, if you don't know, and it was the setting was 2.5 months, so it was actually a format was around for a couple months, and it's just a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to definitely being able to do that and showing you, because I have been doing research on it and just seeing exactly how it plays, and it looks fun. And me being a Blackwing player at this time, Edison, this was probably Blackwings was like the top contender around this time. This would be the last time that Blackwings that I can think of was so-called considered, top tier. So yeah. But I just want to say thank you for watching these videos, and thank you to my new subscribers too. You guys rock so much. I hope that you have happy holidays, a wonderful Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa with this video. I am going to be doing unboxings and stuff starting of last week and this week, so be on the lookout for that. And just thank you so much for watching these videos, and it's just been a blast to be able to do so. Without any further ado, this is Shadow of the Moon, and for the progression series, and I'm going to be signing off for you now. Later.